All right, well, let's go ahead and get started. So, good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for our July Career Connections webinar. My name is Brent Giangregorio, and I'll be your host today. We're very excited to have Dave Bagley here with us today to discuss AI and your career journey. So, it should be a fascinating topic, and I'm sure everyone's going to learn a bunch. But before we get started, just a few housekeeping items. Today's session is being recorded. It will be available on our YouTube channel within 48 hours. As well, we'll send a link to the recording along with the presentations to everyone who registered for today's sessions. Again, you'll receive that within 48 hours. Because this is a webinar format, all of your lines are automatically muted, but we do want to hear from you. So you can ask questions using the Q&A box at the bottom of your screen. As we move through the presentation, feel free, please type your questions in that Q&A box, and we'll leave time at the end for those questions. Okay, so today we have again, like I mentioned, Dave Bagley, emerging technology strategist and consultant with us. And then after Dave's presentation, we'll move on to Q&A. After the Q&A, if everyone can stay on for 1 extra minute for a survey that will pop up on your screen, we would really appreciate it. Your feedback is really important as we use these surveys to help us with future webinars and programming. Now, before I turn it over to Daish, I want to take a few minutes to tell you about the Women's Resource Center. So the Women's Resource Center has been empowering women in Sarasota and Manatee counties since 1979. We have 3 locations across both counties, one in Bradenton, one in Sarasota, and another in Venice. We serve over 9,000 clients a year and deliver over 7,000 hours of programming. Now, our mission at the Women's Resource Center is to engage, educate, enrich, and empower women of all generations. We really like to think of ourselves as a place where women can call when they're unsure where to turn to for help. To do that, we offer resource advising, mental health counseling, support groups, educational programs, of course, career services like this webinar today, educational workshops, programs and scholarships, and financial and legal consultation and education. All of this is offered at low or no cost to our clients. Now, since this is a webinar about careers, I'd love to talk a little bit more about our career service. So we have our career coaching program, which offers individual assistance in preparing for a successful job search. So that can include career discovery, resume preparation, interviewing skills, networking techniques, and much more. Wherever you are on your career journey, we are equipped to help you. Additionally, we offer one-on-one computer tutoring, so help navigating online job sites, uploading resumes, helping with computer basics such as Microsoft Office applications. Additionally, we have 3 career closets, one in each of our locations, where we have free clothing, shoes, purses, accessories for women who are attending job interviews, who've just secured a job and need professional work attire. But we also serve clients that may need clothing for any reason. So once again, if you'd like to ask a question, please click on the Q&A box at the bottom of your screen and type your question in there, and we have time at the end for question and answer. And then just a reminder, our career connections are being recorded, so you can watch the replay in case you missed any information. Again, we'll send that within 48 hours to everyone who registered, include flyers, presentation, and other materials that we review today. And lastly, as I mentioned, when the webinar ends, you'll see a survey on your screen. Please, 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 we ask you to complete that survey so we can understand how we can improve. Thank you so much for attending today. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and turn it over to Daish. Oh, you're on mute, Daish.
Every time, Brent. Thank you so much. Hi, everybody. I'm so glad that you're here. I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to move our Zoom window out of the way so that you can see my PowerPoint. Oh my gosh, my name is Daesh Bagley, and I am excited to talk about how AI can help in your career. This is a Career Connections workshop sponsored by the Women's Resource Center, who I am always grateful for. I have been an actual coach. I've worked at SCF as the executive director of the Advanced Technology Center. Now I am at SCF as an adjunct instructor. So I'm teaching classes and I'm consulting to help more and more business owners, individuals, educators, parents, kids learn more about AI and how it can be used as a tool. Today's agenda will go fairly quickly. I love the fact, though, that we are recording because even though I'm going to go fast, you can always watch the video, pause at certain points, um, go into the software applications that I'm showing, and then practice these skills yourself. So I know it might be difficult to try to be hands-on with me today in the 45 minutes or so that we have, but what I'm going to highly recommend, though, is that you watch me and then watch the video and follow along with the video. Our agenda for today is a participant poll to find out how many of you are online today to learn how to use AI to launch a business, and how many of you are online with us today to learn how many of you are here to learn how to use AI to launch your next job. There'll be some final tips and takeaways, and I forgot to put on the agenda that there is a Q&A session. So my goal is to leave 10 minutes prior to our time so that you can actually ask me some questions. So here's the first thing I'm going to do. I want you guys to participate in the poll everywhere. So the question is, are you ready to launch or are you ready to land? And the way you participate in the poll is either by going to a website, pollev.com/DaeshBagley104, or you can scan the QR code if you have your phone or your tablet handy, or you can text to this number 22333, and the verbiage is Daesh Bagley 104. So DESHBAGLEY 104. You're going to text that to 22333. So I'm excited to find out who's in our audience now. We have great participation. I'm really excited about that. And so what you're telling me is that you're either ready to launch your new business, you're ready to land your next job, or you're happy where you are. You're just here to learn. And there may be something that says something like put in your name or something. You guys don't have to put in your name. It can be completely anonymous. You can participate as a guest without putting in a name. You can always just skip that part. If you're anything like me, that's what I do. I'm always like, I don't want to give out any more information than I have to. I want to participate, but you don't have to know who I am. So it looks like we have about 16 responses so far, which is awesome. Thank you for that. And so I'll go ahead and I want to share some of the results. So we're almost halfway there. So most of you are here to learn, which is awesome. You want to grab some information that I hope you'll share with folks in your lives. At the Women's Resource Center, we're always looking for navigators, digital navigators. And our digital navigators are those people that help others in their lives learn how to use computers and the internet and digital tools as a resource. So I'm happy that you guys are here to learn. Some of you are here ready to launch that next job. And I got to tell you, we did a previous webinar last year, really in depth about how to use AI to land your next job. And so when Brent sends the information from this webinar, he'll include the link to that previous webinar as well, because it will come in handy. And for those of you that are ready to use AI to launch your new business, then this will be new information. I don't think I've ever shared this type of information before as far as using AI to be an entrepreneur. So thank you guys for participating in our poll. And I know who my audience is, so I'll tailor it accordingly. The topics for launching a new business have to do with idea generation. Who are you? What are your passions? What do you enjoy doing? How can you use those skills? And how can you use those skills to either solve a problem or help launch something new? That's what it is to be an entrepreneur. You're solving a problem or you're launching something new. We're going to look at some tools that allow you to do some business planning and some market research, as well as branding and content creation with AI tools. AI can be your one-stop shop. Not to say that you won't eventually pay for some of these services with a digital marketing agency or working with a consultant to help you start your small business. You may end up doing that. But in the beginning, when you're just getting started, there are all sorts of free tools at your disposal. The idea is to identify what you love, be clear about what your skills are, have the value proposition, know that you're trying to solve a problem, and then you want to market and test the ideas. So in a moment, I'm going to pull up some of the AI tools that I use when I think about starting a new business. And for those of you that are wondering, I did start a strategic consulting company for educators and for small business owners. The good news is I'm going to share with you all the same things that I did so that you can do the same, you can get the same results that I have. So the goal is to always identify your sweet spot. Like, what is the sweet spot that combines what you're good at with what your skills are and what you're passionate about? And when you put that together with market demand, then that's a business. The second part of the webinar will focus on using AI to land your next job. So one of the things that I discovered when I got ready to look for my new role, so, and I should probably say this as well, not only am I doing that whole consulting thing on the side, but I did accept a job as associate dean at Hillsborough Community College, and that job starts August 1st. So when I tell you that I went through the job process, I went through the process of looking for a job using the same tips and ideas, it's the truth. I started looking for my new role somewhere around the mid-June. And I thought to myself, what is it that I really want to do? And what are those keywords that describe who I am? And the keywords that describe who I am, do those keywords match the type of job that I'm going for? And AI helped me with that. So I'm going to share that with you as well. There's an app called Simplify that I want to share with you. Some of you may have heard of it. It was my first time ever using it this June. And I think it's remarkable because I probably filled out 20 job applications, and the first 10 of them I did manually. And the last 10 of them, I found this app called Simplify, and it's an AI app. And oh my gosh, it made the process so much easier. So I want to show you that. And the idea of practicing interviews with AI, and that other idea of making sure that your resume has the keywords on it that the job recruiters are looking for. So all of that will be tied up in part 2. So the AI tools that we're going to be looking for, and I probably should have switched these around, but for landing a new role, we're going to use an AI tool called JobScan, an AI tool called Simplify. We're going to use Copilot by Microsoft, and we're going to use Claude AI, which is similar to ChatGPT. So if you've used ChatGPT in the past, Claude is like that, but it's made by a company called Anthropic, and Anthropic is backed by Amazon, whereas ChatGPT made by OpenAI and was previously backed by Microsoft. So I put Copilot on the list instead of ChatGPT because Copilot by Microsoft pretty much has the same tools as ChatGPT for the free version. So all of these, we're not paying for any of this stuff. We're either going to use a demo account or a free account, a trial account. We're not paying. Now, eventually, if we decide that they're worth our while, then you might decide you want to invest. But for now, this is all free. The tools for launching a new business. These are the ones that were new to me. Venturis AI helps you to look at your business idea and think about your branding, think about your return on investment, think about your value proposition, think about your market, your target market. And for Venturis AI, I've just been using the free version. Again, free version. But I might decide that I'm going to invest in this one because so far it's been pretty good. We're also going to use Claude AI, again, similar to ChatGPT, but for me, a little bit better. And we're going to use Copilot. And as far as a new business goes, Copilot is to help you with your images and your logo and your social media accounts and all of that good stuff. Meaning, how do you create an Instagram that will resonate with your audience? An Instagram post, a LinkedIn post, a Facebook post. I will tell y'all now, I'm not on X and I'm not on TikTok, so I can't really speak to those, but I am on LinkedIn, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram. My kids call me old. Yes, I am. Thank you very much. I'm old. And then we're going to do a Q&A. So that'll be that. Okay. So I'm going to start us with, so forgive me for having the blank screen. I'm going to start us with those of you who said that you were looking for a job, right? So you're interested in using AI to find, not even to find a job, but to make sure that you're the best fit for the job is the best fit for you, and that you get the opportunity to at least get an interview. Like that is the hardest part ever. How can I make sure that the system, the ATS, the applicant tracking system, ATS, how can I make sure that the system isn't simply eliminating my resume before I even get a foot in the door? So what I did was for myself, when I was looking for a role, I love higher education, so I knew I wanted to stay in higher education. I put in higher education for my Indeed search, and I put in the state of Florida, and that's pretty much all I put, right? Now, mind you, I do want to stay in my own community, so I probably put in Riverview or Tampa, Sarasota, Manatee, something like that. But for the purposes of this presentation, we're just going to say Florida. And one of the jobs that popped up was a Dean of Career and Technical Education Support Services in Broward County. Another one that popped up was Senior Director, Workforce and Continuing Education. When you are looking for your job, when you're trying to figure out what is going to work for me, you are going to go to Claude.ai and ignore all of the sponsored links. Don't get trapped with clicking on something that's sponsored. Make sure you go to the exact right site so that you don't end up having a squirrel moment. And the way I sort of do my prompting, right, is I say, yes.
Sorry to interrupt. Will you zoom in a little bit?
Oh, yes. Yes. Thank you for saying that. Let's see here. Okay. How about now?
Oh, that's great.
Okay. Good. So I want to use Claude.ai. And again, you can use this for free. You will have to create an account. I use my Google account. So I created a Google account specifically for my AI tools. I use the same email address, the same Google all the time. So in this one, I'm saying I'd like to find a career that fits my personality and my skills. And I typically upload my resume. So if you have a sample resume, go ahead and upload it. You guys might be saying, well, Dash, what about personal information? I will tell you, when you put your resume in, you want to take out, so let's just see, I'm going to try to share my resume with you guys. If you're uploading your resume to an AI and it's not secure, it's not private information, you don't have to put your name in here. You can put my name, and you don't have to put your information in there. You guys are going to already have my information, so that doesn't matter to me. So you can put my email, my phone, my city, right? It doesn't matter. The rest of this, though, your professional profile, my academic leadership, education, all of that good stuff, you want in there. But you do not have to put your private information in your chat GPT. And you don't even have to name it. So I sort of named mine with my first name. I'm going to change that. And I'm just going to change it to my executive resume. Okay. So there's my resume. And it's a doc. It's a DOX. It could be a PDF. I'm not sure if it's going to matter here. So I'm going to upload a file into Claude. And the file that I'm uploading is what I called my resume, right? My executive resume. And you can do this and it should not cost you any money. Let me go ahead and do a search for it. It's probably under downloads. Okay. So I don't know if you guys could see that part. I was sharing my screen. I just had to pull the resume up. So notice the resume comes here now, and I want to say I want to find a career that fits my personality and my skills. Use this file as reference. So I upload my resume, and I'm looking for some core strengths, some words that sort of tell me what I would be good at. So relationship building, data-driven decision-making, educational philosophy, some career paths. Well, Dean of Technology. Yeah, that would be great, wouldn't it, right? Chief Academic Officer, Director of Industry Partnerships. So you're going to do the same thing with yours when you are trying to figure out what jobs you're most interested in. And it'll give you some ideas. So based on doing that, that's what brought me back over here to Indeed. And that's where I found this dean role. And I said, wouldn't it be great for me to apply? So let's just say I'm going to apply. I'm not moving to Broward County, and thank God I already found the job at HCC. So that's where I'll be. But I use this method. All of a sudden, I'm on this site, right? And most of the sites are either going to come from Indeed or LinkedIn or Workday. They're going to be Workday, and you can see it here. And Brent, I probably need to zoom in some more. So let me go ahead and zoom in. There, a little bit more. So you can see from this URL, it says my Workday jobs. When you see something like that, there is an app called Simplify that will autofill the application for you. So even though I came to this Broward College website, Simplify works with Broward College. So the website is Simplify. So you're going to type in all of your job information one good time. And when you type the information in one place, one good time, you're going to sign up, you're going to create an account, it's free. You're going to put in everything from your resume, And when you do that, when you put it all into this one Simplify site, which is an AI site, when you get ready to apply for the job, like here's my profile, I already put in all of my information. I put in my education under the education section. I put in my experience under the experience section. And you might be saying, well, Daesh, where did all these words come from? All of these words came from Claude.ai. When I told Claude, here's what I did, put all of this into something that's meaningful and relevant based on the job description, I got these words from AI. They're my words. They're not fibs. I mean, this is my experience, but it's nicely written by AI so that it speaks to who I am. Now, I did go in and I put in some things that, that's my tone of voice, the way I talk. Like I started as a stay-at-home mom. I had an entrepreneurial vision. I secured SBA funding and I built a legacy business that revolutionized how children engage with technology. Now, that's AI, right? That sounds like AI. That is AI. But the fact that I put in I was a stay-at-home mom when I started my business back in 2005. When I started Tech Play Zone, I had not had a job. I had 4 kids at home, and I was pregnant with the 5th child. Yes, I have 5 kids, y'all. They're all grown and gone now, but I wanted to do an edutainment center for kids. And so AI helped me put that experience into words. And I put all of this into my simplified profile. So then when I come over to this side, I'm going to come back to the autofill. When I come back over here and I say, yes, I want to apply for this job, it says, do you want to autofill with your resume or apply manually? I say, I want to apply manually. It brings me to the Broward College site. And then I come over here, this automatically, the simplify site pops up. And then I say, autofill this page. Now, this page might be a little hard to autofill. So for some of it, how did you hear about us? I'm just going to say it really was indeed.com, but Indeed's not on here. So I'll just choose LinkedIn because I'm sure it's on there as well. And then autofill your first name. Some of this stuff might already be in your Chrome, like your cookies and stuff. But like my address, like that's not my address. That's not quite right. So you sort of autofill all of that. And I know people are going to be like, wow, they just put in all her personal information on the internet. No worries. It's already on the internet. If your information is not already on the internet, then don't do this. But this is me, right? So I say, okay, go ahead, autofill this page for me. And notice that it starts filling everything in. It's pulling it from the profile that I already put in. It's like, what do you want to choose here? Yes, is that right? I look it over. Is that all right? Yep, all of that looks good. I save and continue. I go to the next page. It asks me about my personal work experience. The first 10 times when I was filling out job applications, I had a Word document. I was copying, I was pasting, I was copying, I was pasting, but it took a while. When I found this app called Simplify, which I'm not getting any money from Simplify, so don't worry about that. And again, it's free. I'm not paying for it. It fills in all of the information. It fills in my work experience from all of the jobs that I included in my profile. It automatically copies and pastes all of the words that I included in my profile. So I didn't have to do that anymore. It's already there. Now, do I want to check it to make sure it's accurate? For sure. Check it, make sure it's accurate. But the fact that it saved me all of this time was remarkable. All right, so I hope that was helpful. I hope you guys check out Simplify, and I hope you are able to just sort of see how it goes in. Okay, see that? It says Masters in Public Health. You're going to want to check some of this stuff. PhD in Information Toxicology? Yeah, no, not quite. But we can at least go in and fix that so it's not me doing all of it. So you go in, go through, make sure everything looks good, check all of this out, make sure it all looks good, that you're not exceeding character limits. So if it has something to do with character limits, you want to make sure that's okay. And then you correct whatever's not right. So the idea that I had a bachelor's degree in business management, not quite right. I have a computer science bachelor's degree, so I would find that. I got my computer science bachelor's degree at the age of 31 after I had my third child. So I had two boys, stay-at-home mom, a third boy, stay-at-home mom, and then I had my third son, and I finally finished up my degree. I've been going to school, have a kid, go to school, have a kid. And so finally at the age of 31, I got the bachelor's degree, and I started the company Tech Play Zone, and then eventually I moved into higher education. So for those of you right now who are like, I just don't know, Daesh. I just don't know. I got to tell you, you do know because I did it. And if I can do it, I know you can too. Okay, so that's simplified, right? So that's that one site. Now I want to show you another site. It's called JobScan. And then after I do that, it's 12:30. I'm going to move on to the entrepreneurial venture part. This site called JobScan, I am using the free version. I'm not paid for anything yet. And in the free version, what it does is it allows you to upload a resume and type in or copy and paste the job description. And then it will look at your resume and tell you how it rates compared to that job match. And the goal is to get at least a 75%. So you'll notice right now, this is the job description from the Broward College dean. And so before I submit that application that I was filling out, before I submit that application, I'm going to use JobScan. And I'm going to go through and look at these words like support services and budgeting and support. and it will tell me here are the skills that you are missing, Dash, on your resume, that you're also probably missing on your application, that you need to add in. Proven leadership, support services. So the ones in green, I'm good. The ones in pink, I'm not good. Somehow or another, the ATS system is missing it. So what would I do? I would go back and I would add those things to my resume. So it says you're missing the company name. And then it says we didn't find an address for your resume. We didn't find an email for your resume. On the one I uploaded, I did have my phone number, but for this webinar, I'm telling you guys don't do that. So this contact information will probably be all X's because you're not going to give them your information, right? But for the other things, it says I'm missing a work experience section. It says it appears empty. Now, y'all looked at my resume. I have a work experience section. I don't know why the ATS job scan is saying that my work experience is showing up empty. So I'm going to go in and fix that. I'm going to find a resume that shows work experience nice and clear, and I'm going to put all my work experience in there for my resume just to make sure. And I want all of these things other than contact information to be green. And when I look at the hard skills, like the things that says I'm missing, enrollment management, it says I'm missing an upgrade to view. Okay, great, upgrade to view. But of course, over here, I could already see the things I was missing, right, from the job description without having to upgrade to view. And I would add these words into my resume because I'm trying to get this up to 75%. And that's what I did with some of the other applications that I used. I'm not telling any fibs. I'm not saying anything that I didn't do. I just want to make sure that the system catches it. So here's an example. This was a resume that was uploaded in a sample. Here's the job description, and then it shows, right? You have your work experience. You want all greens. Other than the contact information, you don't need that part, but you need all the greens. All right, I hope that makes sense. Brent, do we have any questions about those three things? How to use Claude to make sure that your wording is right, how to use Simplify to automatically autofill those applications and save you some time, and how to use JobScan to ensure that the words you're using actually match the job description that the company is looking for.
So Dish, we do have one question. It's more AI in general, but like, how would you use or leverage AI to find a remote customer service job?
Okay, that's good. That's a good question. I want to say, I'm going to go to Claude, and I'm going to just try this out. You know, I live on the edge all the time, so let me go back, and I'm going to make this nice and big for us to see. I'm going to go back, and we're just going to see. Oh, good, they kept it. Customer service job listings for Sarasota, Manatee County. So first I just put it in Claude to see if there's anything that's going to come up that's accurate and helpful. So it starts off with Sarasota County, Manatee County. These are found on ZipRecruiter and Indeed. So I'm just going to click on the Indeed link to see if that's really true. Sarasota County, that's not the government, but it does give me Indeed. Yeah, I'm not, it puts in here Manatee County government, Bradenton, Florida. I can't say that I know of an AI tool that helps me find the type of job that I'm looking for. I'm probably still looking for those same types of jobs on Indeed.com, Monster.com. For me, I'm always doing higher education. And the goal is just to put in your keyword and then put in your city. And then from there, however many miles you're willing to travel. I don't know if you guys know, I live in Riverview, but I worked in Manatee County for 4 years. And I traveled 40 miles there and 40 miles back every day. So I was willing to travel, but I love my job. So being at SCF is always fun. So that was great. So I hope that answered that question. I don't necessarily know of an AI tool other than putting in some things and seeing if we get some accurate information. The good news is the links are here. And so if you click on the link and it's actually accurate, then it'll bring you somewhere. So you can try in Claude. Just know, again, AI, we're in beta form. It's still new, so it may not necessarily be accurate. scgov.net takes you to the career section. We do know that's accurate.
Awesome. Thank you,
That was,
Dash.
yes, you're welcome. Okay, let's talk about entrepreneurship. So the first thing that I use Claude for, and when you're getting ready to do a new chat, you just press that plus button. I have a new chat here, and I say, I'd like to start a new company, small base business. And either you are producing a product, you're making a product, or you are offering a service. So let's just say I want to make a product that offers from farm to table food. So that's my small business idea. I'd like to make a product that offers farm to table food. You're like, well, Dash, how do you know that's the type of company that you want? I already know that's the type of company that I want because I've done some other searches over here. You can see all of my searches. I've done some other searches, and the other searches have told me, oh, yeah, you like this, you like that, you like this, that, or the other, then yeah, you're going to be great. This is the kind of company you should go for. And so that's what you're going to do as well. You're going to put in all the types of things that you enjoy, the types of things you're good at, the types of things that you love. And you're going to say, what type of small business should I start? So that's pre-work. Once you get the idea of the type of company that you should start, then you're going to ask for some ideas for starting that company. So the first thing that Claude tells me is that I have some different models, some business model options. I could have direct sales with farmers market or CSA boxes or online ordering. Or I could have a restaurant, I could have a catering service, I could have a combination. So there are some decisions that Claude lets me know that I'm probably going to have to make. And then it tells me I should focus on specific products. Do you want to specialize in seasonal produce, organic vegetables, herbs, heirloom varieties, right? From there, what's your supply chain? What's your regulation? So I'm like, whoa, that's too much too soon, Claude, too much too soon. First, I need a business plan, right? Just a business plan so that maybe somebody will give me money. So give me an outline of a business plan. Not the whole thing, because I might get overwhelmed if you give me the whole thing. I really just want an outline so that I'll know what parts I have to fill out. You may want your executive summary to be your overview of your business concept, your target market, your competitive advantages, your financial projections, and your funding requirements. Write this section last, but you're going to place it first because we don't know any of this information yet, right? We're going to get to it. You're going to want your mission statement, your business concept, your legal structure. And let's say you're thinking to yourself, what's a legal structure? How do I know? Oh, I should pay an attorney. Not yet. Not yet. Don't pay the attorney yet, right? Let AI help you with all of those things. So we're going to say, what is a business structure? A business legal structure. Try to use the same words that's being used in the AI. And how will I know which I need? And now, mind you, there's still all this other information up here that we got to go through. But for now, feel free to have that conversation as you're going through AI about the questions that you have. A business structure. Should you have a sole proprietorship? Should you have a partnership, a limited liability? That's an LLC. For me, when I started Tech Play Zone, I started Tech Play Zone as a C corporation. I needed it to pay its own taxes, not try to sue me or my family. Nobody should try to sue us, the Bagley family. Just let it be all Tech Play Zone. And I knew that I wanted a for-profit business I didn't want nonprofit, didn't want to have to think about a board of directors or anything like that. I wanted to be able to be the CEO and the founder of my own company. So that's that. I mean, literally, this AI is just so amazing. So the next thing I'm like, well, I don't know my financial projections. Give me an example of a farm to table financial projection for 3 years. Because I have no idea where to start. I really don't know. So it says, well, let's assume it's going to be a direct sales model and that you're going to be working with some farmers markets. And I know you guys are probably like, whoa, look at all of that information. Because I was. When I first started using Claude, I was like, whoa, look at all of that information. So you're going to try to get customers. And maybe you'll charge $600 a year, which is, not horrible. It's about $50 a month. 50 customers. Those 50 customers paying $50 a month will get you $30,000 that first year. And then maybe you'll do some farmers market sales, $200 a week, and you're going almost every week, right? 6,000. And then your revenue for that first year might be about $42,000. Now, this is all revenue, right? You scroll down a bit, you'll look at your operating expenses, your cost of goods sold, your vehicle, your market fees and permits, your insurance, things you may have thought of, and perhaps things you didn't think of. And so your total expenses for year one, 36,120. You go back and you look at your revenue for year one, 42,000. Okay. Can you live on just that little bit of profit, right? Because it's going to show you your profit. You go back down to your operating expenses, you go a little bit further. It'll start to show you your profit and loss. Maybe you've never done a profit and loss before, but that's okay because the AI is going to do it for you. You're going to always double check because there could be errors. So you're going to double check and you get your profit and your loss. So I told you this is Claude, and this is just Claude, not even 3 seconds of our time. It may be helpful, it may not, but it gives us a starting point, right? So let's say you like it. You're like, yeah, I love that farm to table idea. Let's do it. We need a website. Oh, we're going to need a website. We're going to need some business cards. We're going to need some stationery. We're going to need some social media. And that's where your Copilot comes into play. So Copilot is, it's free. It's through Microsoft. You're going to have a Microsoft account. And so if you don't already have a free Microsoft account, you're going to want to get one of those, right? So I created this one a long time ago, and I kept using the same one. So I need a round logo with colors, purple, pink, and green for my farm to table logo. And I should have said small business, but I messed up. It doesn't matter. I think AI will understand what I'm trying to say. So it says, okay, so we're going to design a vibrant farm to table logo with the colors that you have specified. And you said you wanted it to be round. So we're going to try to make it round. Now, you guys, I'm using farm to table as an example. I'm sure farm to table is a thing already out there in the universe. Please, nobody try to sue me for using farm to table. That was just the first thing that came to my mind. I have been looking at land recently, so I want to buy some land and do some farming, but I'm not going to steal anybody's farm to table idea if that's already a thing out there. But look at how cute this is, right? The farm to table, it's round, it has my colors. I can download it and I can use that. So when you download, it goes right to your download files. It's called Copilot. And now I'm going to go back to Claude. And I'm going to give that to Claude. I'm going to upload this file, and I'm wrapping up right now so you guys can have time to answer questions. I'm going to give that image to Claude, and I'm going to say, create a sample website for my farm to table with 4 sections. Who we are, what we do, products, and contact. So now I'm telling Claude that I would like a website so that I could now just put something out there so that people can see that I'm interested in this idea and that I'm not joking around. I really am fairly serious about this business. And I gave it a little artifact to use, and it already has all the previous conversations that we've been talking about. And so what I'm hoping is that all of this code will get created. And you're like, wow, Dash, what about the front end developer? What about that person? What about their job? And I will say that front end developer better learn how to use AI so that they can keep their job, because now AI is doing a lot of the easy coding. I'm not going to say that we're going to get a, amazing um, complex website. We probably will not. We'll get just enough to get us started. And so you'll see it's making the website, it's doing all of the HTML, it's writing some scripts, and then before you know it, you have this farm to table, fresh farm to your table. Let me see if I can. Where am I? Download as HTML. So I'm going to download this as HTML, and then I'm going to open it up. And this is what it looks like on my screen. Not the best, but not horrible. It's just a draft of what we're trying to do with our business so that if we had to explain it to somebody, they would know what we were thinking. And so it's the who we are and the what we do and our products and contact information. And then maybe you give this over to the front end developer, to the person that you're going to work with to actually get your website done, and say, this is what I like, this is what I don't like. And you're like, okay, you can even tell Claude, way too green, like too much green. And Claude will be like, oh, okay, no problem. No worries. You don't like that? Too much green? Not a problem. We can fix that for you. We can make that so that it's not so much green the next time. So that's what I want to share with you guys today. I want to share with you the Copilot, Claude. I want to share with you, the last site is called Venturous AI. I didn't get a chance to talk about it today, but check out Venturous AI, because it will take your ideas and it will tell you if your idea is a good idea for what you're trying to do. It'll take all of this information that Claude put together, and Venturous AI will then say, we think it can work, or we don't think that's great. You need to think about this. The AI will do it for you. So with, we couldn't contact, please connect to your network and try again. Okay. Brent, you're still here, right? I
I'm
haven't
still
lost
here. Yeah, you're
you.
good.
All right. So I'm going to stop here. Claude, of course, gave me a little error, but you guys got to remember it's free, and it's so I'm not really paying a whole lot for it. But the fact that it gives me something to start with, that's where I am. Okay, I'm going to stop here, Brent, and I will open it up for questions.
Awesome. Thank you, Desh. Such informative information. It just goes to show the power of AI and how it can assist you, whether you're starting a business or looking for a job or looking for a new career. So great information. We do have a couple of questions. Again, if anyone has questions, use the Q&A box at the bottom of your screen, and we'll get to those questions. So the first one, an individual is wondering how they can use AI to improve the sales for their food truck. How can they use AI to promote it?
Oh, I love that. I love that question. Okay. So again, you're probably going to put into Copilot. And the reason why I say Copilot is because with Copilot, it's your Microsoft account. So the information that you're putting in Copilot is private to your account. When you're using Claude, not private. Use ChatGPT, not private. But if you put your information into Copilot and your prompt is literally just what you just asked me, you put in your What's selling the most? What's not selling? What are your prices? Upload your files or just type it into the prompt. And then say, I like to figure out ways to expand my revenue. What are some ideas for expanding my revenue? Put that into Copilot. For promoting your food truck, ask Copilot, what are some ways to promote my food truck in the Sarasota Manatee community, St. Petersburg community, Tampa Bay community? What are some resources that I can use? It's probably going to tell you the same thing that we would, the chambers, the economic development corporations, all of the nonprofits in the area. See if you can bring your food truck to those places that are having events. But it may tell you more. And so you get to have a conversation with Copilot, just like if you were talking to a consultant, and allow Copilot to share all of that information.
Awesome. So Desh, another question, are there any AI platforms or systems that you recommend to help already existing small nonprofits with business plans, growth, etc.? Also, are you aware of any AI systems that can almost be a personal assistant for like LinkedIn?
Oh, for like LinkedIn. I have looked for that. I have not found any systems that are free yet, meaning that there are companies that are selling exactly what you're asking for. Salesforce has products for nonprofits in which they embed their own AI system. I think it's called Einstein for Salesforce. So when you're using the customer relationship manager, it embeds some AI so that then you can automate some systems to do what you need it to do. Um, Nothing free. When it comes to things like that, that's when you're going to really want to go through some training and figure out how you can make it yourself. And what do I mean by that? I think it's entirely possible for all of us to build our own GPTs, generative pre-trained transformers. That's what GPT stands for. It means we take our own data, we put our own data into an AI model. We can choose Microsoft or Google or Amazon, choose any of those three, put your data into one of their training systems, and then train the model based on your needs. And that is literally the consulting company that I'm working toward. How do we make our own GPT so that we're not paying the other companies like Salesforce?
Excellent. A couple questions on the website that Claude helped you create.
Yes.
Is that free? And can you just, will it create like the actual website and URL, or do you have to go to a website hosting platform, enter that source code? What's that process look like?
Okay, good. Am I sharing my screen? Am
You
I
are.
sharing? Okay. So first thing I want to show you is that file that I downloaded, it literally is all of the HTML. So I hope it comes up. So I guess it's going to come up in Visual Studio for me, which is on another screen, but that HTML file is yours. So then you go to a site, and just for me, I'm just going to tell you, you're like, Dace, you are the cheapest person ever. Yes, I'm not. I just want to save money before I have to spend the money, right? So before I really have to spend the money, I want to save the money. So Weebly is a site that I use. Again, I'm not sponsored by Weebly. I don't get paid by Weebly, but I use Weebly because I can create a site. Oh, wait, you know what? Let me just show you. It's going to have a Weebly. It's going to have Weebly in the title. So Earl and Izola.weebly.com. And you guys are like, Dash, what are you showing us? My family asked me to put together a family reunion page. And I went to Claude and said, hey, Claude, I need a family reunion page. And Claude did the thing. And then I just put it in Weebly.com. I do not pay for this site because I allow Weebly to put their URL in there. So this site is free. It's being hosted on Weebly, but all of this HTML stuff was created by Claude. And then the part I had to do was connect my Square account. So those of you who are small business owners, you probably already collect payments some kind of way. So I connected my Square account to this. And then I also, and it's probably small, you might not be able to see it that great, but I also told the family members, you can Zelle me, you can Cash App me, you can Venmo me. It does not matter to me, but make sure you give me your information so I know who I'm getting all this cash from. This website was created by Claude, and I took the HTML file and I put it into Weebly. And how did I learn to do that? Again, that was Claude. I said, Claude, I want to take my HTML site and put it into Weebly. How do I do that? And Claude gave it to me step by step by step. Here's how you use Weebly. So I don't pay for this site. I do have to pay Square um, for the for the charges. I mean, the credit card fees. I have to pay Square, but I don't pay for anything else.
Wonderful. There's another question. What's the best way to create kid-friendly ideas with AI, if that's possible?
What do we mean kid-friendly ideas?
Yeah, I'm wondering too, if anyone that posted that question can maybe clarify, or if they're
Yep.
asking what are kid-friendly, if there are kid-friendly AIs out there, or um,
I can say there's tutoring through Khan Academy,
mhm.
but Khan Academy might charge for that tutoring. You could do the same tutoring with Claude. You could tell Claude or Copilot, I need some math problems for my child. Create a storybook for my second grader to practice reading. Use sight words to help my kid better understand sight words. My kid, Calculus 1 at Florida Gulf Coast University. Well, she was Calculus 2. She placed out of Calculus 1, but Calculus 2 at Florida Gulf Coast, she needed some practice problems to help her better understand and the tutoring. And why is this problem? Why am I not getting it right? Here's what I think I'm doing. AI, figure out where my errors are coming from. And that helped her tremendously. So, a lot of kid friendly sites as far as creating things for kids to do. What are the sites where I would allow my kids to use AI? None without supervision.
Yeah, fair point.
Yeah.
Very fair point. Awesome, Nish. We had one last, it was more of a comment, and I'm gonna chime in here. But it's a participant that's new to the area and is trying to land a new job in sort of Florida culture. And so they were interested on a video on this scenario. And so our one from last year, I think will be very helpful for this person to review, which we'll send out in the recording. And I think to your point, Dash 2, use Claude and type in how to land a job in Florida's cultural work environment or something like that.
Yep. Ditto.
Awesome. Awesome. I'm glad I got that question right. Wonderful. Well, that's all the questions we have. Desh, I want to thank you tremendously for this presentation. It was super informative. I know our participants enjoyed it. Again, participants, if you could stay on for 1 extra minute and complete that survey, we'd greatly appreciate it. We'll send out the recording and the recap and some links in the presentation within 48 hours to everyone that registered. So you should have that by Friday. And I hope everyone has a great rest of their day. Bye, everyone.